Hello everyone, my name is Zamber. Thank you guys so much for clicking on this video and deciding to watch with me. Today we're back with more Avatar: The Last Airbender. I am so excited to watch with you guys. We are watching Book 1, Episode 11, The Great Divide, which I don't really remember the episode, but I know a lot of people had a great divide over it. I'm really sorry. If I could fire myself, I would. But I am very excited to watch the episode with you all. Please keep in mind, if you want to see my reactions early, you can do that by going over to my Patreon page. Link down in the description below to get access to the full reactions over there. But without further ado, let's get started. They look similar. What is happening? What was he doing?
Aren't you forgetting the tarp?
Right, got it.
Sokka, you're supposed to put the tarp on top of the tent. You know, so we don't get rained on.
Ordinarily, you'd be right. But seeing how it's the dry season, you're not.
This is weird. Not bad, just different.
Katara, why don't you worry about gathering the firewood? Because that kindling's looking pretty sorry.
Oh.
Well, if you don't like my firewood,
Fine by me, if you're not gonna do your job.
Okay, I get the grub if you guys get the... Hey, where's the campfire?
Oh, okay.
And what happened to the tent?
Why don't you ask Miss Know-It-All, Queen of the Twigs?
Oh, yeah? Well, you're Mr. Lazy Bum, King of the Tent.
Good job, girly. You got him. Yeah.
Why don't you just switch jobs? Sounds good.
Whatever.
You see that? Settling feuds and making peace. All in a day's work for the Avatar.
Yeah, good job. Seemed to work out for now.
The Great Divide. Wow. I could just stare at it forever.
Okay, I've seen enough.
Oh my god.
So stupid.
You're looking for the canyon guide. I was here first.
Oh?
Ooh, canyon guide. Sounds informative.
And the only way in and out of the canyon is with his help. And he's taking my tribe across next. Calm down, we know you're next. You wouldn't be calm if the Fire Nation destroyed your home and forced you to flee. My whole tribe has to walk thousands of miles to the capital city of Ba Sing Se.
You're a refugee.
Huh, tell me something I don't know.
It is always a treat when I hear Scott Menville. I think I'm saying his last name right. But hearing Scott Menville's voice, it is always such a treat. I adore him as a voice actor. I know that like his range is not vast, but he is so good with playing like the leader type character and like having that little sass. Like if you don't really recognize his voice, which his voice is uber recognizable because he really only has such like few voices he does, but he's exceptional at what he does. He's Robin in like Teen Titans Go, and then he was also Lloyd Irving in Tales of Symphonia. Those are kind of like the big two I know him as. But both of them are, you know, the strong leader type characters. So it is really always a treat when I randomly hear him in something because I'm just like, Robin, Lloyd, like, like I have a little tweaking because I'm just like he's here again. Everywhere I go, he's here. So it's super funny. I feel like he did a great job in like his role here too. I can't help but laugh because like you just hear his voice and it's just like, oh, it's Scott. Like, what's up? So that's always fun. This episode is already very goofy, so I'm excited to see what his character does in this. I don't know.
Is that your tribe?
It most certainly is not. Oh. That's the Zhang tribe, a bunch of low-life thieves. They've been the enemies of my tribe for 100 years.
Oh.
Hey, Zhangs! I'm saving a spot for my tribe, so don't even think of stealing it.
I didn't know the canyon guide took reservations.
Of course you didn't. That's the ignorance I'd expect from a messy Zhang. So unorganized and ill-prepared for a journey.
Okay, we have really walked into like a conflict. Jeez.
Who's ready to cross this here canyon?
I was here first. My party's on their way.
I can't guide people who aren't here.
Oh.
Wait, here they come.
Oh my god, look at them. They're so refined and regal. Oh.
Seriously gonna cave into these spoiled Ganjins? I mean, we're refugees too. And we've got sick people that need shelter.
Sure they do too.
We've got old people who are weary from traveling.
Sick people get priority over old people.
Maybe you Zhangs wouldn't have so many sick people if you weren't such slobs.
If you Ganjins weren't so clean, maybe you wouldn't live to be so old.
I could smell your
Well,
stink.
What the hell? That's so rude. Like, girlie got a point, but like, that's so rude.
Everyone listen up! This is the Avatar.
Oh boy.
And if you give him a chance, I'm sure he can come up with a compromise that will make everyone happy.
Katara, what are you doing?
I am not helpless here.
All right, here's the deal. You're all going down together, and Abba here will fly your sick and elderly across.
Oh.
Does that seem fair?
Maybe I would suggest putting the elderly next to the sick people. Feel like you're gonna get the sick people to give the sickness to the elderly. I don't think it's a good idea.
Making peace between people is his job.
His job's gonna make us cross this whole thing on foot, isn't it?
Okay,
Yeah.
now comes the bad news. No food allowed in the canyon. It attracts dangerous predators.
Okay, that's fair. Well, but then they won't have food for wherever they go.
All food better be in your gut or in the garbage.
Yeah, I mean, just eat it, you know? The chopsticks. Oh, they're so refined.
See you on the other side, buddy. Yip, yip.
Well, Appa's gonna get there way faster than us.
Guess the spirits are still angry. Hope you all brought sacrifices.
Was that a goof and a gaff, or was he being serious about that? I'm a little bit concerned about this. Like, what the fuck?
Why'd you do that?
These people are fleeing the Fire Nation, aren't they? Gotta make sure we can't be followed.
Oh.
We'll be safe now.
We gotta help him!
Our guide's not gonna be in good shape, though. Water whip! Get him, girl! Yeah. Okay.
Your arms, they're broken.
Oh,
Without my arms, I got no bending. In other words,
We're trapped in this canyon.
well, that's really bad for everybody.
I thought the whole point of ditching our food was so we wouldn't have to deal with things like canyon crawlers.
It's the Zhangs. They took food down here even after the guide told them not to.
What?
Seems weird for you to throw the first stone. If I had to guess, both y'all snuck food in. All of y'all seem awfully defensive.
no bending. We need to get out of this canyon. I won't die down here. I won't become part of the food chain.
Oh, okay. That's terrifying.
We should split up. Ganjin's on this side and Zhang's on that side. We'll travel in 2 separate lines. Sokka, you go with the Zhangs, and Katara, you go with the Ganjins. See if you can find out why they hate each other so
Oh
much.
boy. No. That's a terrible idea. You're separating the siblings who just had issues with one another at the start of this episode, who like very much don't get along on even a good day. They are sassy to each other. I don't think this is a good idea. I think this is like a really bad
So
idea.
you guys aren't gonna put up your tarps?
What for?
Yep.
It's the dry season.
Exactly!
Besides, we like to use the tarp as a blanket.
You really think it'll rain?
No, but you can never be too careful, right?
She's just like that look. She's like, somebody understands. I like that she sits up.
Would you care for some bread, Katara?
So it was you guys who had food.
Oh, come now. You really think that tribe of thieves isn't smuggling food? Why should my people go hungry when the sneaky Zhangs are stuffing their faces?
Well, I guess it's okay if everyone's doing it.
Katara! That's like the #1 thing that like your parents should taught you. If everybody's doing it, doesn't mean that you have to do it!
I bet you would enjoy hearing some history.
I'm mad. I'm so mad. Katara.
The patriarch of our tribe, Jinwei, who was assigned an important duty, transporting our sacred orb from the Great Eastern Gate to the Great Western Gate.
Oh.
Jinwei was attacked by one of the Zhang,
Oh.
a vermin named Wei Jin.
My, he is tenacious, isn't he?
You can never trust a Zhang.
Uh-huh. Yep, okay. Now she hates them.
Care for some meat?
Would I?
They both stole. I shouldn't say so. They both smuggled in food.
Our conflict with the Ganjin goes back over 100 years.
Okay, what is your side of things?
Noble Wei Jin stopped to help him. Kind Wei Jin promised to send help for the man as soon as he could. But as Wei Jin crossed the border to return the orb into Ganjin territory, he was arrested.
Okay.
Instead of thanking him for his kind and selfless deed, they sentenced him to 20 long years in prison.
Wow.
We Zhangs will never forget that injustice.
That's
Yeah,
just
20 years.
terrible. You gonna finish that?
I love already you kind of see Katara is like completely into the story and she's like, wow, like I had no idea if everybody else is doing it, I guess. Like being super impressionable, like this peer pressure mob mentality they have going on just because they are the more refined individuals does not mean they are not more rash. Which I think it's funny to see the opposite side where with Sokka's side, he's only, you know, taking the food and information given to him. He's not really caring. He's just happy somebody is feeding him. So it's just like, yeah, that's so sad. Like, whatever. Like, even though their side is telling a more compelling story, where they're like, yeah, he was like going to go return it and then they imprison him. Which at the end of the day, it sounds like he went back and gave it to them. So it sounds like their side is probably more truthful, if I had to guess. But I don't know. It's interesting. And now we're going to get the split between the two siblings because they're just siblings who have a little bit of a tiff with each other and then it blows up into something else. And having any reason to be mad at your sibling is awesome, you know? Any valid reason is like, yeah, I can be mad to them. I can be upsetty, which is ridiculous, but it's how it works.
Sure would be nice to be around one of those campfires,
Aww.
telling stories and laughing.
But it keeps you impartial to both sides.
It's lonely, isn't it? Being impartial.
That's what I
I
said.
wish I could help these people get along, but it just seems impossible. Anyhow, I guess our biggest problem is getting out of here.
I'm not so sure the two problems are unrelated.
Making the long boy think, making him think.
Katara, Sokka, will these people cooperate long enough to get out of the canyon?
I don't think so, Aang. The Zhangs really wronged the Ganjins. They ambushed Jinwei and stole the sacred orb.
What are you talking about?
Yeah, Katara, what are you talking about?
Oh, boy.
Wei Jin didn't steal the orb. He was returning it to their village gate and was wrongfully punished by the Ganjin.
Not punished enough, if you ask me.
Okay, I get it. Now I need your help. Let's get everyone
Oh my
together at the
gosh,
base of the canyon
girl.
wall.
Girl, he was in prison for 20 years. I know you don't know that, but that's a long time.
But I need you all to put your heads together and figure out a way up this cliff.
Maybe the Zhang can climb the wall with their long, disgusting fingernails.
Oh, sorry. I forgot that to the Ganjin, unclipped fingernails is a crime punishable by 20 years in jail.
Ooh.
Harsh words won't solve problems.
True.
Action will.
True.
Perhaps the Avatar is right.
Yes, perhaps he
No,
is.
no, don't fight. No, baby boy. Baby boy, no. Well, this won't end well for anybody.
You know, I take it back. Harsh words aren't so bad.
Okay, like his isn't so bad because you can shape, but like hers, she's missing a whole like bloop of hair.
Is that Food?
Ooh.
Everyone smuggled food down here? Unbelievable! You guys put our lives in danger because you couldn't go without a snack for a day?
Yep.
You are all awful!
Ooh. Oh.
So hungry. Is that egg custard in that tart?
Oh, sweetheart. Oh, sweetheart.
Oh no! That's a lot of canyon crawlers.
We barely survived one.
They're coming back for me. They've had a taste, and they're coming back.
Oh, this poor old man.
I just want us to get out of here alive.
Me too. I only took their side because they fed me.
Yeah, that's fair though. When you're hungry, you're hungry. I get it. It's fine. Oh. Yeah, girl, she is so good at. Oh, the water whip. Never mind.
Watch me do what I do!
That's scary. Are we going to ride them? Yep.
Now follow me! We're riding out of this hole!
Oh. Wow. That was a very smart play. I am so shocked that this is working out for us. I kind of thought we were going to be housed a bit. Nice. Then they'll follow it back down. It's perfect. Good job, Egg. The show is really pushing this, like, the Avatar solves all problems type of thing, which I'm curious to kind of see as this progresses how much that will actually be kind of what happens in the show. Like, will people, like, seek out to him like he's, like, a messiah type thing? Or, like, is he just, you know, the person who's supposed to bring peace? Like a president type of thing versus, like, the messiah. Because in this episode, they're kind of treating him like a messiah versus just like a, yeah, you're like the dude supposed to do things. So, I don't know, do something. So it's interesting. I'm kind of curious to see how this will play out. Like, because so far we've had messiah-y vibes. But, like, I just don't know. Like, he is 12 at the end of the day. 112. But he is like a 12-year-old still. So, I don't know. Even if, like, somebody was like, I am your messiah, you know, the Avatar. I still don't know how much I would, like, readily trust them. Because there is such a thing of having, you know, more knowledge as you get older. Not saying everybody who is older is wiser. Some people are not. It just depends on your life experiences. But if a 12-year-old is telling me some advice, I don't know how likely I am to take that. Just based off of my own experiences in life and how far I have come. I don't know if I'm willing to believe a 12-year-old. So it's interesting to kind of see this play out. I'm curious how it'll go.
I never thought a Ganjin could get his hands dirty like that.
And I never knew you Zhangs were so reliable in a pinch.
Perhaps we're not so different after all.
Too bad we can't rewrite history. You thieves stole our sacred orb from Jin Wei.
You tyrants unjustly imprisoned Wei Jin for 20 long years.
Stop fighting! You're acting like babies.
I mean, I really knew them. I might not look it, but I'm 112 years old. I was there 100 years ago on the day you're talking about.
Oh, really?
There seems... First of all, Jin Wei and Wei Jin weren't enemies. They were brothers. Twins, in fact.
Oh.
And they were 8. And most importantly, they were just playing a game. The sacred orb from the legend? That was the ball. And the eastern and western gates were the goalposts. But he stepped out of bounds. So the official put him in the penalty box. Not for 20 long years, but for 2 short minutes.
Really?
There was no stealing and no putting anyone in prison. Just a game.
You're saying the sacred orb?
But they respected each other's differences enough to share the same playing field.
So are they...
I suppose it's time we forget the
Is their
past.
tribes related? That
And look to the future.
I don't understand. That's so weird. But it's kind of cute. Whatever. I feel like we didn't really learn a lesson then. I guess that history can change? Is that our lesson?
Let us travel to the Earth Kingdom capital as one tribe.
I'm going too! I'm sick of this place!
Oh.
That's some luck you knew Jinwei and Wei Jin.
You could call it luck. Or you could call it lying.
What?
I made the whole thing up.
You did not.
Dang!
That is so wrong.
Now where's that custard tart? I'm starving.
He lied? Are you kidding me? What? Wait, what? Why? That's so weird. I can't believe Aang lied to everybody. That's wild. Do I think it was a good idea? I do. I don't think lying is the answer always, but when it's over this like super old feud that nobody's going to be happy about no matter what, it's kind of funny because they themselves said, if only we could go back and rewrite history. They said that when they realized they could work well together. And I think Aang took that and he was like, fuck it, I will rewrite history. And then did that very thing where he was like, no, like that's not how the story went. Like they were just kids and it was a misunderstanding. It just kind of blew up. Which, yes, of course, lying is bad. And like, we don't know if one side maybe was embellishing their story or if maybe things were different, you know, what have you. So we can't say for certain, like, was it that bad? But these people are holding on to a grudge. A grudge from so long ago that doesn't even concern either side anymore because it is so long done and buried that it shouldn't keep these people from working together and like being friends with one another. The feud is so far gone that it is just like not worth it anymore. So I think Aang did make a good choice. I'm not saying lying was the correct decision, but it was a good lie. That's the difference. A little bit goofy, but I did think it was a good lie. Because had either of these sides truly felt and knew the story in their heart or had been there or had some way, they would have, you know, barked back at Aang and been like, no, that is not what happened. But they didn't. None of them did. Whether it was because they trust the Avatar or the most likely case, none of them actually knew the truth. It was just, he said, she said, hearsay that has just been passed down for so long that they just have believed it. And, you know, after like 100-some years, that is kind of what happens, is that nobody really knows the truth anymore because most of those people were not there for it. So I think it's wild, and it's also part of the reason why history is so important nowadays. Granted, in the time that we are living right now, I think historic events are being very well documented. Things are being recorded, written down at alarming rates, where everything is news, where maybe some things don't need to be news, but they are. So for us, it's very easy to go back, read things, see things. We have very good documentation. Where back in the day, we did not. A lot of things were omitted out because we didn't want history to remember, you know, our past selves that way. And there is a little bit of censorship that is going on nowadays, especially here in the US, where legislation is trying to change history and rewrite the past. And taking away like books and literature and trying to change the curriculum to, you know, try to paint a better light over things and trying to make things that were really bad seem not so bad, which is not good. We need to remember that things were really, really bad. We need to remember that like there are still people living in this time that experienced the terrible amounts of racism, the segregation. Like there are still people around. There are still people who had to go through like the Holocaust. Like there are still people alive. So it is absolutely wild. So seeing the Great Divide kind of makes me think of a lot of that stuff, that there is some pointless feuds that keep people from coming back together. And there are also times where we do need to remember the pain that caused. And I don't think those are so much as a grudge, but benefit to not repeat history again. And so I like the Great Divide. I can't say like I super approve of Aang lying, but I think Aang was probably ready for the fact that like if they bucked back, or if they're like, that's not true, he was going to be like, oh, wrong Wei Jin or something. My bad. You know, like he was prepared for them to buck back, I think. But the fact that they didn't, and they were so willing to just accept it as fact, they're like, oh, that's how it went, means that none of them were there to experience it. Which, in a way, is kind of terrifying. Because if none of them truly were there or understood or had any, you know, accounts truly written to be like, this is what happened, then nobody is there to, you know, defend that history, defend those people who made those choices, what have you. It's weird. It's a weird episode, and it really gets me thinking in a good way, of course, like a good thinking. But yeah, wild episode. Goofy, but fun. And I feel like it does have a good like message that we need to remember history, but also let go of things that maybe aren't so important. / is no longer our fight. I think that's the lesson that we're learning. I think that was. But let me know what you guys thought about the episode, or maybe I didn't quite get the message. But I don't know. It was a weird episode. I thought we were going one place, and then Aang completely flopped it and then lied, and it got weird. So I don't know. It was a fun episode, but let me know down below. I'd appreciate it. And of course, guys, thank you so much for watching. Please keep in mind, if you like the video, to like, share, subscribe, all that fun jazz. I have been sick since like November 9th till like November 28th. I'm recording this on the 28th. I'm still not doing great, muffled ear, what have you. Hopefully by the time this uploads onto YouTube, I will be better. Cross your fingers with me. But thank you guys so much for watching, and I will see you all later. Bye!